Stewart goes 2 for 4. He also homers. That's his 8th. He homered off of Williams in the 3rd inning. Castro homered off Williams in the 3rd inning. Castro playing second base yesterday, went 2 for 3 for the Tigers. And here's Nick Castellanos. Maybe he's starting to heat up. And are the Tigers going to trade him? Castellanos yesterday, 3 for 4. He's now hitting .268 on the year. I'm a big fan of Nick Castellanos. I do think he's a DH more than a right fielder. And I think if he gets traded because of his limitations defensively, he goes to an American League team. But certainly, he's a player, he's a bat that a lot of American League teams have got to be looking at. Who could use him? Everybody. He's that good a hitter. So look for the Tigers to try to deal him. Pitching-wise, not a great day for starting pitchers yesterday. Williams coming off the IL. Trevor Williams for Pirates went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits, surrendered 7 earned runs. He did strike out 7, and Williams is not really a strikeout pitcher, but I guess against the Tigers, you can become one. Rodriguez wins the game. He pitches the 6th inning, shutout. Liriano gets the hold by pitching the 7th and the 8th. And Vasquez comes on in the 9th, strikes out 1, gets his 17th save on the season for Pittsburgh. He now has a 2.05 ERA. And I wonder if the Pirates will be looking to trade Vasquez before the trade deadline. There are teams out there who need relief pitchers, Boston, and I wonder if Pittsburgh will be looking to deal Vasquez. He would be a great asset to own and look for his numbers to just keep being strong all year long. He's on pace to save, 30, 35 games for probably a last-place team if he stays in Pittsburgh. I love the ERA. I love the fact he's not walking a lot of players. So I like Vasquez. If you own him in fantasy, hold on to him. He's probably going to be moving sometime this summer, but he's a great reliever. Let's look at the chat room. Let's see what's going on over there.
Because we're talking about adding players off the waiver wire, and I'm looking, let's see, we've got DK Luce says Jordan Alvarez. I added Alvarez too, DK, and love that ad. Andrea says she added Hansel Robles, the reliever. Lenny loves Harold Ramirez down in Miami. Yes, so do I, Lenny. Great ad there. Easy Kill picked up Brandon Lau. Except for those last 3 games in New York, he's had a great rookie season. 14 homers, you got to love that. Lance Lynn, Renaissance man, right? The Renaissance man, Lance Lynn. Cha-Cha and Oscar Mercado, that's a great one. Unholy Toledo says Reynolds, Ramirez, Vogelbach. I'm loving this. And then, of course, Framber Valdez. You think he's going to walk 5 tonight? I don't know about that. He's looked pretty good. The thing about that Yankee-Astro game, and I'm going to go over 10 o'clock because I'm going to play that conversation I had with Craig Mish at the end of the show or somewhere in the show. But the thing we've got here with the Yankees and Astros is the Astros haven't been hitting as much. Somebody can put that in the chat room. But they've, now you're getting these big games and players rise to the occasion. And I'm looking for some, great pitching, timely hitting. I don't think we're going to have 9 to 8 games, but I think we're going to have some runs scored. I think the pitching's going to be pretty good. Now, I think the pitching favors, on paper, the Astros tonight with Chad Green, the opener. But Chad Green's been lights out over his last 9 games, okay? An ERA just over 1 with a whole lot of strikeouts. I think the first inning could be critical. If the Yankees can get past that, then Cortez comes in as the finisher, so to speak. We'll see how that goes. I think Astros and the Yankees is a great 4 games. Can't wait to see it. And it all gets started tonight in the Bronx.
Before I get back to the next game I want to talk about, I want to back up a minute because I use index cards, okay? That way I don't have notes all over the place. And I misplaced one. I was talking about Tyler White earlier, and I want to talk about him in terms of prospects coming up from Houston. Tyler White, since June the 6th, and I've dogged Tyler White on this show, and you know that, but Tyler White since June the 6th is hitting .343. He has 12 hits in that span. 5 of those are doubles. Okay? That is impressive considering where he's been all year long. His season average is only 237, but this recent hot streak may be another reason why we've not heard or seen from Kyle Tucker. Tucker is a good outfielder. He was International League Player of the Month last month, hitting a ton since April. Now, in April, Tucker was not hitting anything, okay? Since April, he's been killing it in AAA, but the bridge just doesn't seem to reach from Houston across down to the AAA affiliate. So we'll take a look how White performs going forward. May have a lot to do. Of course, it may have nothing to do, but it may have a lot to do with why we don't see any of Kyle Tucker. Let's get to our next game. The Angels were in Toronto. Well, let me give you these statistics. Yesterday, 7 RBIs, 3 balls hit over 110 miles an hour off of the bat. Okay? And I wonder who could have done this. Well, let's just take a moment and let's honor the best player in baseball, Mr. Mike Trout.
And that is skied and high and deep to left field. Gurriel, a courtesy look. Mammoth big fly for Mike Trout, and the Angels lead it 3-0.
Well, he got that 3-2 fastball. Wow. 21st home run now, 51 RBI. And you have no choice but to say, wow, when you make contact like that. Man, for Trout.
Mike Homer in the second inning.
Trout has been excellent throughout his career with the bases loaded.
And that is drilled out to deep left center field. No doubt about it. Grand salami time for Mike Trout. 7-3 Halos.
What a game already for Trout. I mentioned that batting average of the bases loaded, 394. On 6 grand slams in his career.
Way to go, guys. Way to go, guys.
Trout, since May 1st, we talk about statistics on this show. Since May 1st, his OPS, 1.330. That is the best in baseball since May 1st. He is killing it. 3 for 6 yesterday. 2 runs scored. 7 RBIs for Mike Trout. La Stella went 2 for 4. He's hitting 295 at the top of that order. Ohtani, 2 for 6. And it is not just coincidental, folks, that Trout has resurged since Ohtani has returned. Ohtani coming back to that lineup gives Trout some protection. Ohtani's hitting 277. And behind Trout will now see more fastballs. And he is mashing, absolutely mashing the ball. Justin Upton, just back this week. You remember game 1 yesterday, home run. Excuse me, not yesterday. This is Thursday. Tuesday, game 1 back, home run. He had yesterday off. Back, I'm getting it all screwed up. He came back on Monday. He had Tuesday off. He played Wednesday. I'll get my calendar straight in a minute. Anyway, he's played 2 games out of 3 days, and he's homered in both of those games. Another homer yesterday in Toronto. Upton, another reason why the Angels could become factors in the wild card. That's where I'm going with this. The team doesn't hit that poorly when everybody's there. Of course, a lot of teams can say that, right? But the Angels, they have some strengths. Haney pitched yesterday, did not pitch a good game. That's 2 in a row where he's not pitched well. 3 2/3, gave up 5 earned runs. His ERA now sits at 5.68. When he started the year a few weeks ago, he didn't start the year. He started the year on the IL. He came in May, and the first couple of starts he was lights out. Well, not so much here lately. Bedrosian did get a hold. Anderson pitched the 9th for the Blue Jays. Sogard went 2 for 5. Guerrero 1 for 3. He's now hitting 255 on the year. Freddie Galvis went 1 for 4. He's also hitting 255. Pitching wise, Aaron Sanchez, not a good look. He's now 3-9. He pitched 3 2/3 innings, 9 hits surrendered, 6 earned runs. A few years ago, Aaron Sanchez was the ERA leader in the American League. He's not going to be this year, I can tell you that. And it's going to be a long summer in Toronto. They're now 26-48, and they only lead the Orioles by 5 games in the standings. So I'm not big on Toronto going forward. These young kids, though, I am big on in their team, on their teams, and they're going to be calling up players. Who's going to be next? Bichette's going to be next. Just a matter of when. He's back from a broken hand. He's at AAA. I think Bichette could be the most impactful rookie they call up this year. If you're stashing hitters and you want to stash a shortstop, there's you one right there. Go get you some Bo Bichette. In Atlanta last night, Max Fried took on Matz for the Mets. Atlanta, red hot. They lost the day before, but is there a hotter hitter than Josh Donaldson? And guess what? He was at it again last night against the Mets. He comes up to hit, and here we go.
And the thing about Donaldson is so many times he has come up this year and, not performed early in the year. But that's been changing here lately. I want to take in just a moment and look at some stats of Donaldson. But last night he came up and, wow, what a home run he hit against the Mets. Difference maker last night.
Davis jumps over.
There was also a play last night at home plate where Davis was running the bases for the Mets. He's running home early in the game, and he actually, instead of sliding, he tries to jump over the catcher, right? Tagged out. It was an acrobatic play, if nothing else. A lot of entertainment in this game last night between the Mets and the Braves, that's for sure.
That has been a long time coming against left-handed pitching for Josh Donaldson.
That home run by Donaldson put the Braves up 4-2, and it was a lead they would not relinquish. They would go on and beat the Mets 8-3 last night. Freddie Freeman also 2 for 4. Freeman hit his 21st home run in the first inning. That was Donaldson's 14th. He hit off Matz as well in the 6th inning. Austin Riley goes 2 for 3. He's now at 292 on the year. Ronald Acuna Jr. finally had a night off. Well, he played, but he didn't get a hit. 0 for 4 last night. He still sits at 293 on the season. The Braves, more encouraging news, Max Fried, who'd been scuffling of late, went 6 innings last night, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. And while we're talking about the Braves, I want to take just a minute and look at Donaldson's numbers. And, the first thing I want to say about Donaldson, he may be available in some leagues because he may have been cut recently because he had really scuffled up until about 10 days ago. Second, Donaldson has a pristine position in the batting order in Atlanta. He will often be batting 4th. And the Braves have shuffled their lineup a little bit of late. Riley was batting 6th, and I've been noticing the last few days, Riley is now moved up to 5th in the order. He's behind Donaldson. These are subtle things that can affect players' stats, their game performance. But Riley, of course, is a big bat. And I wondered, in fact, I talked about this, when were the Braves going to move Riley up from the 6th position? Well, they've done it now. They've got him behind Donaldson in the order. And, of course, Donaldson is, behind Freddie Freeman and Acuna. Here's what he's done the last few games, okay? He's 1 for 3 last night, 2 for 4, 2 for 5, 3 for 4, 3 for 4, 1 for 5. Over that span, 5 home runs. Incredible. 9 RBIs. That's 12 for 25 over his last 6 games. That's a .480 batting average for Josh Donaldson. And if he were cut, if he were on waivers, that is certainly a bat that's hitting right now and a bat that I would love to have in fantasy. The Braves, how many times have I told you? The East is theirs to win. And Donaldson is a big part of that in that order. Look for him to continue. Look for them to continue to score runs. 8 runs yesterday. Steven Matz, the loser. Fried, the winner. In Texas yesterday, Cleveland against the Rangers. The Indians win 10-4 in that game. Jose Ramirez, is he finally waking up from the dead? I don't know. But he did get a hit yesterday. He's now at 204. Wow. Is it time to go on Jose Ramirez? Is it time to Finally get rid of Jose Ramirez. When's the last time Jose Ramirez was bad?